Yeah, so you heard from her, she went to Pune entirely by, I would say by accident, went there and found it was a nice place to do that. And I even asked her, why not here? So her answer was, I don't know, it may be places like this exist here, but she wasn't sure. But now, having come back to Madras after you did 1 year there and you came back here and you joined a local college, was it completely different? Madras is a terrible place to study and a boring place for a student.
For a student from Madras, I think if you studied in college here, you wouldn't know anything else.
That's a damning statement. It's like you're going to be just left out. I mean, you're not going to do anything interesting. You're not going to find.
I'm not saying any of that. I'm not saying no interesting stuff, no adventures, none of that. I'm saying this is the only thing that you're used to. From the very beginning, this is the kind of system that you're used to in college.
Yes.
You still go in without expecting nothing, but you get to learn the system and you stick with it.
Okay.
You
So
continue
you're saying
to...
this system is not as good as the Pune system, and you mentioned that earlier. I liked what was going on there. I decided to stay on. So what was it that was starkly different out there?
That people were so frank and open and a lot more progressive.
Okay. So that's strange because most people say you get all that in South India, more intellectual freedom, more argument, more this, that and the other, and nothing up there except people studying hard. Now it's totally different from what you're saying.
In South India, I feel like the students are sort of bogged down. Very bookish, a lot of theory, and I also feel like you're not given enough time or space to explore your creativity.
So your the Pune experience is more like what you see in the American movies. Also a beautiful campus, everybody having a good time, well dressed, partying, drinking beer on weekends, and all the rest that college students do. So that happens there.
But education was never sidelined. Grades were never compromised.
Okay.
You would see people drinking beer every day, but they would turn up and score very, very well in their exams.
Okay.
So it wasn't this extreme or the other.
All right.
It was a perfect balance.
But if you brought that system out here, how would it work here? Do you think it'll work, or people will just?
Well, I don't know if people would be even open to the idea of beer in the first year of college.
Okay. I'm not talking about beer in the college, in a pub.
Even
obviously.
outside college.
Even that's frowned upon here in.
I think the exposure that you're given here is far, far, far less. Or I don't know if. I feel the good thing about Chennai colleges, of course, is that there are people from different kinds of social strata.
Okay.
And that I think is very good. So you not only can learn from them, but there's so much to give and take.
Okay.
And that I think was the best thing that happened to me
studying
in, after coming back.
You're just being nice so that your college people don't turn around and hammer you.
No,
when you get
I'm
back?
not being nice at all. This was the first thing that I said in college the first day I walked in, because I felt like in Pune, it was all the same kind of people. It was all people...
All the bindas lot, as they say. All partying and enjoying life along with their studies.
Of course, there were people from different backgrounds, but more or less the same sort of
homogeneous
thought process.
Okay, all right.
Like everybody thought the same way.
Okay. Why is that? Why do you think that's just another city like any other? Why do you think that city has been... Is it being more professional people settle down there and consequently... people from different walks of life, different backgrounds?
I'm not sure what to put it on, because like I said, in Pune also there are people from different backgrounds. But I feel like in Pune people were just a little more open to learn different things.
Okay.
There was nothing that tied them down morally or socially and said this is not something that I want to learn about or talk about or know about.
Okay. And was it a co-educational thing where you studied?
In Pune, yes.
And if you were to study in a co-ed college here, would the atmosphere be any different, or that co-ed is different from our co-eds?
Well, in Chennai, I never went to a co-ed college. I went to an all-girls college.
Okay. So would that be part of the reason why people are a little repressed when it comes down here, because they really
I
frown?
certainly feel so.
Definitely.
Even in school, I used to feel like girls' schools were so different from co-ed schools.
Yeah, I mean, it's always been like that. Parents are always a little worried about sending their girls to co-ed schools. But you think this is perfectly okay, and your friends who have been into that, do they say they had a better experience than you? In Chennai when they were growing up? Because they were in a co-ed school. Do you think that they got a...
I went to a co-ed school.
Oh, you did?
I went to a co-ed school.
Okay.
So it was very different for me to come back and go into a girls' college.
Okay. So what about the girls who grew up in an all-girls school? Did they find that when they came into a co-ed college later on in their life that they missed something out in school time?
Yes, I certainly feel like they miss something out and they themselves feel it too, and very strongly.
Okay. So when you came back and you finished your Viscom, and you obviously didn't want to be a professional in the world of advertising or whatever, what did you choose to follow? What was it that you were looking for as a career? Surely this whole thing is going somewhere to make some money. Your college education. You didn't make any plans?
I think I'm the sort of person who never made plans. I just took things as they came.
All right. So
And,
where did it go? Where did it lead you?
3 years of college or 3 years of life in Chennai, and then after college I began to work at the Banyan.
Okay.
So the Banyan is an NGO that works for the homeless mentally ill.
Women.
Started off for women,
Oh,
but now working for men as well.
Okay.
And
That's good. We never recognize men need help. They're always out on the roads on their own.
Well, several men need help.
I know they do, but I mean, they're
Most
always
men need
ignored.
help.
You know? Yeah. Oh, it's like that, is it? More men need help than women. Could be.
All men need help, maybe.
All men. All right. All men need help. Okay. So you're working as what?
I was working as a project coordinator at the Banyan.
What the devil does that mean? Project coordinator.
It means that I was coordinating one of their projects,
Okay.
which was to run a homeless shelter for men.
Okay.
So I was running
So
a
the
project.
actual money, buying vegetables, running the kitchen, vagara, vagara, all that. The heart.
No. Let's get this straight. This doesn't mean I was helping old grandfathers, sitting next to them, holding their hands, feeding them tea, playing carom board with them.
None of those
Not
things.
that.
Okay.
I ran a place for homeless men, which meant it was a night shelter. There was a
Okay.
soup kitchen. There was an all-day long daycare center,
Okay.
and there was a 24-hour residential facility.
Okay.
So the idea is not to care for them and show them love and kindness, so they become extremely dependent on you and grow old with you. But
But
the
just
idea is
look
to
after
have
them.
them. Yeah,
Stay
the
alive.
idea is to bring them in
Stay
from
alive.
the streets when they're in extremely bad conditions, but also to get them out in 6 months.
Okay. And
So give them their life back.
How effective are those kind of things that you did? Do they actually get the men out after some time? They're saying.
We are
"Buzz off
able
now"?
to definitely make them far more independent than when they came in.
All right, so let's find out how she managed that, because a lot of people don't know how these shelters work. We hear horrendous stories of being beaten and whipped and chained and whatnot. So when we come back, we'll find out what exactly goes on in these shelters.